craft and great attention is paid to the health of the cattle. The diets of Wagyu cattle are specially prepared to improve the quality of the meat. The higher the fat content of the beef, the higher the flavor of the meat. Cattle breeders take care of their cattle's diets and use a special feed mix. This mixture contains grain, soybeans, corn, rice bran, fish meal and other ingredients. Raising Wagyu cattle is very costly. Cattle breeders allocate special areas for the health and welfare of cattle and maintain strict veterinary control. The breeding process of cattle is also quite long and the cattle are carefully cared for throughout this process. Wagyu cattle are a tightly regulated product in Japan. The techniques and methods used in cattle production are strictly regulated by the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture. Cattle breeders receive continuous training in the care and production process of cattle and deliver meat that has passed strict quality control. Wagyu meat is a popular delicacy around the world, but due to its high price, it is often consumed on special occasions or special meals. The high fat content of meat means that it should be cooked quickly and undercooked. It is recommended to cook quickly on the grill or in a teppanyaki pan, and the resting time helps the meat become more flavorful. Wagyu cattle are raised around the world, and many countries produce Wagyu meat using special techniques. However, Wagyu meat produced in Japan is the highest priced and most sought after breed due to quality standards and stringent inspections. Wagyu meat is not only made from red meat, but also from other parts of the beef. There are other dishes featured in high-class restaurants such as foie gras, and beef is used in Japanese dishes such as sukiyaki. Wagyu cattle, unlike other cattle breeds, are grown especially in Japan and have an important place in this country's cattle breeding. Cattle breeding in Japan started in the late 19th century and gained momentum with the modernization of the country. Today, Japan ranks among the world's top beef producers, and Wagyu beef is considered a specialty of this country. The fact that Wagyu cattle stand out with their flavor and marbling, fat veins, can be explained by the special methods of raising this cattle. Wagyu cattle are raised using a special feeding method. This method increases the fat content in the cattle's diet, making the meat more flavorful and tender. Increasing the fat content in the cattle diet also increases the marbling rate of the meat. Marbling rate refers to the rate at which the meat is covered with fat veins, and the higher this rate, the more flavorful and tender the meat will be. Wagyu cattle breeding requires special care such as a dedicated area separation and veterinary control. In addition, the breeding process of cattle is quite long and laborious. During this process, special attention is paid to the nutrition and health of the cattle. All these processes require a large amount of resources and time to raise cattle. Wagyu cattle are raised in Japan under strict control and the quality of Wagyu meat produced in Japan is held to a high standard. This means that the techniques and methods used in the production of cattle are tightly controlled. In addition, other factors used in beef production in Japan must also meet quality standards. For example, the slaughter and processing of cattle is also carried out by special methods, and the quality control of the products is also strictly carried out. Wagyu cattle breeding is a very important economic activity, especially in Japan. Cattle breeding in Japan has a very important share in the country's economy. Another reason why Wagyu meat is expensive is its rarity. Since the Wagyu cattle are a breed of cattle that are bred in a limited area around the world, their production is also very limited. In addition, the genetic structure of Wagyu cattle is very important because of its characteristics that determine the quality and flavor of the meat. Therefore, the production and rearing of Wagyu cattle is a rather laborious process. Wagyu beef is strictly inspected in Japan and Wagyu meat produced in Japan has the highest quality standards worldwide. Therefore, Japanese Wagyu meat is the most famous and most prized throughout the world. Among the most famous types of Japanese Wagyu meat are Kobe, Matsusaka, Omi and Yonezawa. All of these meats are quite expensive due to special breeding methods, diets and other factors. Kobe meat, the most famous type of Japanese Wagyu beef, originates from the city of Kobe in Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. Kobe meat is considered the most famous meat in the world and is one of the most expensive. Kobe cattle are specially raised and subjected to feeding programs based on a high-quality feed. It is also said that Kobe cattle are regularly massaged and played music to keep their stress levels down. Matsusaka meat comes from the city of Matsusaka in Mie Prefecture, Japan. Matsusaka cattle are slightly larger than Kobe cattle and their meat is also very tasty. Matsusaka cattle undergo a special feeding program and are fed only the best quality feed. It is also said that Matsusaka cattle are regularly massaged and given special care to keep their stress level low. Omi meat is a type of Wagyu meat grown in the Omi region of Shiga Prefecture, Japan. Omi cattle are smaller than other Wagyu cattle, but their meat is quite tasty. Omi cattle undergo a special feeding program and are fed only the best quality feed. Wagyu beef comes from a special breed of beef raised in Japan and is considered the highest quality beef in the world. Wagyu beef is graded in Japan with stringent quality control measures and is given a rating between A1 and A5. The A5 is the highest quality one. The reason why Wagyu beef is expensive is due to special breeding and feeding techniques and quality control measures. Due to the high demand, Wagyu beef is extremely expensive. However, American Wagyu beef raised in the United States is also considered a high-quality product and is generally less expensive than imported Japanese beef. Wagyu beef is a delicacy sought after by foodies around the world for its taste, texture and high-quality fat.